What's going on YouTube? So today we're going to be checking out the Robot Vacuum by Robit. It's the V7S Pro model. So this item is $199 on Amazon. I'll link it in the description below. This is actually going to come with, down below you'll see a 30% coupon code that you can use. So that brings it down to, I think it's what, 30% of $199 is $159, something like that. So it ranks this robot vacuum in the cheaper range. I rank robot vacuums between, you got cheap range, you got the cheapest range, you got the medium level, and then you got the expensive kind. So you got anywhere from up to $200 for the cheapest level, which this falls into. And then you've got $200 to $400 or $500 for the mid range, and then 500 plus for the more expensive range. What I usually recommend is the mid range for most people. And the reason why I recommend that is because the mid-range usually has mapping software on your phone. So it actually maps the room, it radars the room, maps it out, and it knows where every little item is. So if you have like a kid's toy in the middle of the room, it knows where it is. Versus this thing will see the kid's toy. However, it'll use the bumper and actually touch the toy and realize something's there and then bounce off of it a little bit and go somewhere else. The nice thing about this vacuum compared to one I've reviewed before, I reviewed another one, this thing actually has intelligent route planning. And what that means is most vacuums on the cheaper version or cheaper side don't have any intelligence at all. All it knows, other than knowing where the actual base station is to charge it. So what this thing actually does is it actually will go back and forth and just basically like you would like mowing the lawn or actually vacuuming yourself. It can actually has that mode capability versus the other ones that I've seen actually don't have that capability, and it'll literally bounce off something, go another direction, bounce off that, go another direction, and so random, and half the time it probably goes over what it's already vacuumed. And so that's kind of wasteful to me. Do those work? Yeah, they work. They work just fine. However, they're not as intelligent and as precise as this actual vacuum itself. So that's one thing that's really nice about this vacuum is it has intelligent mode. I mean, it's not as intelligent as knowing where everything is and mapping it out and allowing you to actually set boundaries, but it's intelligent enough to know, okay, I've hit the wall. Now I'm going to turn around and go back down, make another swipe next to my other swipe. So that's really nice about this. It does come with 2600, I think it's 2600 milliamp battery, so it gets up to 100 minutes of actually charging time, and it will go find the charging station when it's done, first of all, or when it needs to charge and go back to what it was doing. So that's really nice about this. It is 2000, I believe. I think they call it the suction power is BA, I think, or PA, I think actually. So 2000 suction power, which is about normal for what you'll see in most robot vacuums. So it also mentions that it's a quiet vacuum. So it's got two different modes. It's got a quiet mode and it's also got a strong mode. I'm assuming the strong mode is a little bit louder, but it does have a quiet mode. So that way, if your floor is not too dirty, it'll be a little bit quieter than your normal vacuum or anything like that. So what I want to do is I want to get this open in the box, show you what's in the box, so what you get in the box for your money, and then also show you kind of the different modes, and then we'll go from there. But before we get started on that, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome, and consider subscribing down below. If you're coming back to my channel, thanks for coming back, and hope you enjoy more videos like this. If you have any questions, comments, or opinions, go ahead and put that down in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to hear from you. And check out the description for any links and anything else on the vacuum itself matter. So let's get it started and unbox this. So the first thing you get is a quick start user manual. Actually, it's pretty thick. And also some troubleshooting tips if you have any issues. So you have a filter, so you go and little air filter. You have the base station charging station. You have the charging plug for the base station. You have the actual remote itself with all the modes on it. And so it looks like you can increase or decrease the fan speed. And then you got the home button here, and then it looks like you got arrows so you can actually guide it if you want to. So that's cool. Then you have 4 little arms. I think it actually takes 2. Yep, it takes 2 of them. So it looks like you got some spares. Then you have a brush and a cleaner pick for actual cleaning of the brush on the bottom. Well, this one actually doesn't have a brush on the bottom, so that's different. But this is probably to help clean the actual container out that you actually have in there when it gets full. So here you actually have the unit itself. One thing I dislike about robot vacuums that are actually shiny is, you can already see my fingerprints. I don't know if you can see that, but you can already see my fingerprints on it. And this collects dust like none other. So that's one negative thing I don't like about robot vacuums that are black. It collects dust and you can see it. It does have a power button at the very top. That's all it has. It has a nice bumper here. So this is what happens when you hit something. It bumps into it and allows it to move it somewhere else. And then you have actual filter itself. So here it actually comes with a spare filter. So here's actual where you fit all the stuff in there. So all the dirt and all that stuff you pick up. Then you got the bottom side here. So notice before I said there is no roller here. Usually these robot vacuums have a roller down here. So this one just actually just sucks it up. It just grabs it and sucks it up. Never seen that before on an actual robot vacuum. So that's different design. It does have the big roller with the rubber wheels on both sides. And then it's got the actual drive wheel here. Or not drive wheel, these are drive wheels, but this is the spinning wheel at the front. And then you got the two rotary arms here that you actually connect for those little rotary fins, or the brushes that we'll put on there. And then you got the two connectors for the actual power for the connector. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this charged up, and then we're gonna check it out.
Go to auto cleaning mode. Start cleaning mode.
So there you have it. You actually see the cleaning mode it has. It does have other cleaning modes. It has a spot cleaning mode that allows you to put it like in the middle of the room or put it near a spot that needs to be cleaned up vacuum wise. And you click that and it literally just circles around so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, just like circling the spot. It does have an edge clean, so you can click on it and it'll find a wall and then clean all the way along the wall until it can't find any more walls. So that way it can actually clean the edges and get all the edges like the baseboards and all that. It also just has a random mode, which is most of the cheaper vacuums have. That's the only mode they usually have, or they usually have that in the spot clean and then also the edge clean. And like I said, this one, like I showed you in the video, has a more intelligent style cleaning versus just randomized, bounce off a wall, go somewhere else and all that. So that's really nice about that. I don't know how well you could hear the actual sound of the actual vacuum itself. I did switch between the low suction to the high suction, but I will say the low suction is pretty quiet and you can easily watch TV in the same room on the low settings. As you can see, it also went up and over my rug just fine that I have here, and it went underneath my couch. So that's one thing that's really nice about this vacuum is it's low profile, so it can go underneath smaller or shorter couches. The specifications of that I'll put in the description as how tall it is and stuff like that. But unfortunately on the remote itself, it does show Wi-Fi mode, but this thing does not have Wi-Fi mode. So you can't set schedules and say, go ahead and clean my house on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. You can't set those modes, unfortunately, on this one. But with the more expensive ones, you can. So if you're not looking to spend more than $200, this is a fantastic vacuum, a robot vacuum. It doesn't have a front roller, which is different. Does it need to have one? I'm not sure. If you have really tall style carpet, probably want to go for a roller style option. But for like hardwood floor or a shorter carpet, this one would be perfect for that. But other than that, if you have any questions and comments or opinions on this, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. First time here, consider subscribing. If you're back again for another video, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching if it's your first time as well. And I will see you next time.